I would now like to introduce Mitali Ma for the next Alochana. She is from Bay Area and she has been an active satsangi for a long time. She has a software professional background and is also an active socialist and regularly helps the needy and poor. Now let's hear from Mitali Ma about her experience with Shishi Boroma and her ideology.
Jai Guru everyone. It's a wonderful afternoon, and like everybody said, it's always great to see everyone in person, because I think last few years we haven't done that. So to begin with, I would say I once heard in an alochana that somebody was saying, have you seen a little boy or a little baby crossing the road with the father? Just take a look at their face. They are never worried because they have faith in their father. When he holds the hand, he's going to make you cross the road. I think that is what is Shri Shri Thakur for most of us. That faith, like Sojanama said, it doesn't come in a one day. It will take some time, but it does come. There are many instances of Shri Shri Thakur that we have heard. But the best thing, I always say this, I like him more because he gave a lot of importance to Shri Shri Borma. Thakur has said if he had come on this earth in a female form, that would have been Shri Shri Borma. And Shri Shri Borma has been the pillar behind the satsang organization that got formed. They say she didn't study so much, but I don't think studies or degrees measure how much you know. She was great at keeping accounts, maintaining everything. I'll say one incident that happened in Himayatpur when there was a fisherman who came to Shri Shri Thakur and said, my son is not well, and the fisherman's wife was crying, and he said, I need some money. So Shri Shri Thakur looked up to Shri Shri Borma and said, Baro bau, tomar kaner dulgulu diye dao. He asked him to give the earrings. And she just readily, without asking anything, gave it to him. And he gave it to them, and they went and they did the treatment and everything. Once Shri Shri Borma was serving food to her mother-in-law, Mata Manmohini, and she noticed the earrings were not there, and she said a lot of things to her, even that, oh, you might have given these to your parents. But she kept quiet. After 6 months, the fisherman got some money. He gave it to his wife, and they got the earrings back and offered it back to her. Unfortunately, this still happens in our society in India. Hopefully, it will stop one day. But there are so many things to learn from Shri Shri Borma at that point of time. Like her perseverance, I would say her faith in her husband, and the calmness she kept, because she just kept quiet, because she knew what was right. So that was one incident from their life. I wanted to talk about two things today. So the second thing is, we went through a pandemic last few years, and I'll talk something about recent times, because a lot of things have changed. If you see, we didn't meet lot of family we can never meet because they have passed away. Like I have seen people, and it has been very strange. So I'll tell a personal experience. A couple of years back, somebody very younger to me in age and relationship said something to me about doing something for somebody and being selfless. So that impacted me a lot. I mean, people who know me might say that if I do something for somebody, it's always selfless. Because this is a mother's conference, I want you all to understand this, that I think women somewhere have that inborn thing to bear the pain. We bear pain every month when we have kids, everything, right? And I think that's how we are now programmed that way. But it's not always like that. You should also try to focus on yourself, and that's the biggest lesson I have learned past few years. Some people who have seen me before might say that I lost weight, and I did, because it had reached to a point where I had so much blood pressure after the birth of my baby girl, and I lost close to 70 pounds, but it wasn't so difficult because of meditation. That's what I would say, that if you meditate, it does help. So I want to say that focus on yourself, on your health, because somewhere while doing for everyone, that's something we forget about ourselves. And I think that's very important. Some things that have worked for our mothers, grandmothers might not work for us. So it is to learn, to unlearn and relearn some things. That is very important. And for Shri Thakur, one personal incident I would share. So I was watching something one day and they said, गुरु क्या होते हैं? गुरु आपको बताते हैं क्या करना है? नहीं, गुरु वो है जो आपको इतना ज्ञान दे देते हैं कि आपको पता चलता है क्या सही है क्या गलत है. A guru will give you that knowledge which will tell you in your mind what is right and what is wrong. So that is what a guru is. And so somebody said, समय भी तो गुरु जी जैसे ही होते हैं, but there is a difference. समय आपकी परीक्षा लेता है, फिर आपको सिखाता है. The time will teach you lessons after it has passed. A guru will give you a knowledge before the time comes. So last year, after I came back to work after having a baby girl, and unfortunately something happened and I found out that my role wasn't there. I worked at that place for 10 years. And out of everything, I never thought this would happen to me, because this was just out of the blue. And I think I used to work for somebody, the person I used to work for was not a nice person. I wouldn't say not a nice person, I didn't like the way they worked. So they offered me a role in another state and I said, I don't think I'll do that. And a lot of people, even my husband said that you can stay at home if you want, but I just left everything to Thakurji. I knew something was going to happen, which is going to happen good. And in 15 days, I found something which was much better, and it was with somebody else who I love to work with, and this was another role. And I just thought that, okay, this is all Thakur's plan. You just need to have faith and patience. That is the biggest strength you will have, and just leave everything onto him. I always say this, few years back when my father passed away, was one of the biggest, toughest times I have faced. And I always, in recent one of the seminars, they asked me, how do you get strength? I said, I have traveled 5,000 miles knowing my father is no more, just to go and meet my mother. Now when any tough situation comes, I think nothing can be more bad than that, right? So I think, and he'll be there, you believe it or not, he'll be always there with you. So with that, I'll just finish. Joy Guru, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitali ma. It was a nice judgment. Yeah, I would say अगर कुछ बुरा होता है तो कुछ अच्छे के लिए ही बुरा होता है. ठीक है, like Sojanya ma said, if your flight is getting delayed or flight is getting missed, some better flight is coming up to take you to your destination in a sort of way. So yeah, thank you. It was thank you for sharing your personal experience. It motivated us to believe Thakurji, truly surrender yourself to Thakurji, and everything will happen good. Yeah, thank you.